Welcome to NFS News. So today we will know the China-India business collaboration against USA tariffs. China calls on India to stand together against USA tariffs amid trade war. The Chinese embassy in India has criticized the latest tariff measures imposed by the United States, calling for global cooperation to resist what it described as unilateralism and protectionism. China also urged India to stand together against US imposed tariffs, calling Washington's latest trade measure an abuse that harms developing economies. In a post on social media platform X, using a spokesman for the China's embassy in India said China-India economic and trade relationship are based on complementarity and the mutual benefits, facing the US abuse of tariffs which deprived countries, especially globally south countries, of their right to development. The two largest developing countries should stand together to overcome the difficulties. India and China should stand together to overcome challenges posed by tariffs imposed by US President Donald Trump's administration. The spokesman for the China embassy in India said on Tuesday, China-India economic and trade relationship is based on complementarily and mutual benefits, facing the US abuse of tariffs. The two largest developing countries should stand together to overcome the difficulties. China ready to buy more goods, says Beijing's envoys as US tariff loom. Beijing's ambassador to New Delhi said China hopes India will create a fair and transparent business climate for Chinese companies and further expand their mutually beneficial cooperation. Beijing, as US President Donald Trump's Liberation Day tariffs threaten to unpaint the global trade systems. China has offered to import more Indian products and strengthen trade cooperation. Beijing's ambassador to New Delhi on Wednesday asked Indian enterprises to share dividends of China's development by seeking trade opportunities in the neighboring countries. We are willing to work with the Indian side to strengthen practical cooperation in trade and other areas, and to import more Indian products that are well suited to the Chinese market. Chinese ambassador Zhu Fenghong told Chinese state-backed newspaper The Global Times in an interview published on Monday, "We also welcome more Indian enterprises to cross the Himalayas and seek opportunities for cooperation in China, sharing the dividends of China's development," he said. Zhu added that China hopes India will create a fair and transparent business climate for Chinese companies and further expand their mutually beneficial cooperation. This comes a day after Chinese President Xi Jinping told his Indian counterpart Draupadi Murmu that China and India should work more closely together. The remark was part of the China's leader congratulatory congratulatory message to mark the 75th anniversary of the state of their diplomatic ties. India and China have been taking steps to rebuild their ties after a 2020 border clash on their Himalayan frontier soured relations. India has placed restrictions on Chinese investments in the country after the 2020 clash, and he has not yet lifted the barriers. So this was the information for today. I hope if anyone is like to or want to learn about the graphics designing, Here is the free course we are providing. The channel name is Technoland Expert. You will get the link on the description. See you again for another news.